Well, hello friends. Been a couple of days. I've not been well, I've had a cold. Very, very rare for me to ever be ill. But I have been ill when I've not been working, I've not been in the workshop. And that's the reason why. But today I wanted to do just a little bit of a, not so much an on the bench video, just a heads up on what's going off in the workshop, because it's been absolutely mental. I've had to tell people we're going to come back in a couple of weeks if you want to drop a guitar off, because I've got that much in. And jobs, when they've come in expecting it to be a light job, and they've all ended up being refrets or fret levels or whatever. So, but I wanted to do a little more, it's not so much an on the bench, but a what's going on video. And I thought I'd do this because tools, I want to talk about, not so much about tools, but getting good tools for doing this work. Someone asked me the other day, why don't you do a basic tool set video? And because I'd mentioned what tools you need in one of the videos I was doing on a certain guitar. And so I decided to cut a bit out, post it as a separate bit, but I could do it, I could also do it here. So I'm actually going to do that in a moment. I'm not going to do it straight away. I'm just going to do, we'll talk about where I get my tools from, because tools are expensive, and StewMac, forget it. I've had an account at StewMac for years. I used to buy stuff from there. I still buy stuff from there very, very occasionally. But their postage is a rip-off. Their prices are astronomical. They really take the mickey with their prices. It's the reason why I built my own. If you see behind me now, there's a guitar neck jig behind me there, which is a copy of the StewMac thing, the early StewMac wooden one. I built that myself for less than 100 quid. To buy it from StewMac, it's about 400 quid. Then you've got shipping and import tax. Takes you up to nearly £600. I built that for less than 100, so just shows you what their prices are. I've actually talked to StewMac recently saying, why don't you set up a European distribution so we can get tools and actually pay astronomical import charges and shipping? And they just basically said, we're not doing it. I thought, well, fuck you, StewMac. There you go, that's me with StewMac. So I get my tools. I always look on eBay and Amazon if I want regular woodworking tools. If you put the word guitar or luthier in a search on Amazon or eBay, like a guitar hammer for instance, you put guitar fretting hammer, probably pick these up for about £1.99 at or £1 at pound shop. You put guitar or luthier in the title, that's it, it's automatically gone up to £7. This is my old fretting hammer. It's kind of battered and knackered now. It was about £7 actually. So this brings me on to the next part of my where I go and fetch tools from. So eBay's pretty alright. I wouldn't go buying Chinese stuff, but there's a great place. Another place I don't touch is Crimson Guitars. That Ben Crow, I'm not one to call people, but he's a strange one, isn't he? You heard him talk. He's a really, really very strange man. I don't know what's going off in his head. He thinks he's alright, that's absolutely fine. And undoubtedly he's got skills, he can build guitars and all that, but when it comes to tools and that, it's like he thinks he's got a monopoly here, so I can put these up. And his prices again, they're like StewMacs, they're pathetic, they're stupid. I don't go there. I had one thing from Ben Crow's shop. I bought a fret file, you know, the triangle 3-edge one with the ground edges, which I still use, which was brilliant, and that was worth the £17 I originally spent. But I've recently had a look on his website, and his prices, they're really taking the piss. So I don't go there. So kid, don't go to Crimson Guitars, don't go to StewMac. Straight as a die me, I go for my gear. I'm going to move beside it because I've just had an order arrive from Guitars and Woods out in Portugal there. There's the tape, we've got our own tape up. I've even put a little sticker on there with the bits I've got. Guitars and Woods, G&W. Their prices are very, very reasonable. And another place that has got very reasonable prices is not Luthier Tech. It'll come to me in a minute. Tone Tech in Britain, there in England. Tone Tech Luthier Supplies, I think it is. I get a lot of gear from there, but a lot of times I go to G&W, and I've just had a fret hammer from there. New one, plastic, brass, beautiful, not cheap, 10-11 euros, but not expensive. I also get my fret wire from there. This is a vintage Fender fret wire basically. It's but the brand it's Hosco, it's Japanese, and this is going on. It's the size I wanted. I didn't go and buy Fender stuff because I buy the 18% nickel silver, which is hard. So I bought some of this, and it's not going on a Fender, it's going on a Hondo. an early Hondo Telecaster. I forget the name or what type it is. It's some kind of super deluxe series. But that fret wire is basically vintage size. It's 2.6mm wide by 1.2 high. It's as close as I could get to vintage Fender. Not vintage Fender size, but modern Fender size. But it's not much wider than the wire that was on it, and it's really good long lasting stuff. So I've been and got that. I've also bought a little fret slot measuring device. It's like a little radius gauge, except it's not. This goes in your frets and you can measure, see the black lines around it here, and that you slip on the slot, and it lets you know if your slot's deep enough for fret wire. Great little gadget, only a few pounds there. And my fret hammer I've told you about, fret wire there, and that, so that all come to about 25 quid delivered, which is fine for me. Stuff like nuts, when I'm buying guitar nuts and stuff like that, I get, if I'm not getting Graphtec Tusk or Graphtec Nubo, they're both man-made substances by the way, I normally go and get them off eBay and I pay what it costs. If it's 10 quid, it's 10 quid, that's it. Something else I've had come in the post recently, strings. I buy strings in bulk and I only buy 2 lots of strings. I used to buy Rotosounds because I like to stay British and that, and fly the flag and everything, but after Brexit and all that, there's no glory in flying a Union Jack anymore, is there? Just what an absolute evil, corrupt bunch of bastards them lot are. So don't bother with that anymore. So I buy them by size, and I only buy 9s and 10s. And 10s I tend to stick on Les Paul types, and 9s I tend to stick on not Les Paul types, Gibson types, and 9s I tend to stick on Fender types. So I buy these. I only more 9s, 942s. I think they come in at 6 sets for 29 quid. That's just under a fiver a set. And I get these 10s. I get D'Addario 1046 XLs. These come in at 45 quid delivered, just under 45 quid. So these I charge £5 a set. I'm making 40p, 50p. Well, I'm not on these. Not making anything on these. I'm not really making on them. Charge 5 quid a set. You know, you go to a guitar shop and get one set of strings, it's going to cost you 8 quid. So I always buy them strings in. Something else I've bought recently before I get to. Coming back to the tools in a minute. I'm looking at, this is my standard overdrive. My wife bought me this as a birthday present a few years ago. Maxon OD808. I will never ever get rid of this. It is the best overdrive out of all the overdrives I've used in my life. And I've had TS9s, I've modded TS9s to 808 spec. I've had the Boss SD, what is it, the SD1? That's a good pedal by the way, the Super Overdrive. I've had your Bad Monkey, big tone sucker that is. I've had the Joy Ultimate Drive, which I also like, but I thought I would go and try. I've got this, but I've got 2 setups. I've got my little Yamaha setup on the desk here, which I use that with, and I've just bought a Marshall combo, a valve state combo down on the floor with a VS65R, which is great. So I thought I need another overdrive. I'm not going to spend 115 quid on another Maxon, even though they're great. I'll go and have a look at these. Look at that. People call it, this was £13.99. It's a booster and an overdrive. It's got a 3 position selector in the middle. It's mixed, so you've got boost on, overdrive on. At the top it's boost, at the bottom it's overdrive. I use that as a clean drive and I use the mix. It's absolutely wonderful. This is £13.99. People call these Nooks. It's not actually Nooks. It's New Cross. Look, New-X. New Cross pedals. These are brilliant. I'm that impressed. It just come yesterday. I haven't got my Gibson out. In fact, my studio's here. My wonderful, wonderful Gibson Studio. It's a 2000 model with small inlays. What a lovely, ever beautiful guitar this is. I bought this off a guy about a year and a half back. It's got Grover tuners on there, Kidney Bean, Butterbean, whatever you want to call them. I bought this for 450 quid, including the tan case, the hard leather case. Absolutely wonderful guitar. I've not even changed the strings on it, and I've had it a year because the strings are elixir coated. Absolutely wonderful guitar, but kind of losing the topic here, aren't I? That's not what I was talking about. So, I like this that much, I'm going to go and buy a chorus pedal. And again, 15, 16 quid. This is brilliant. If you're looking for a good overdrive, take it from me. I am a Maxon 808 player. I'll never be, that'll always be my favourite overdrive. But this is well worth £14. Forget your Bad Monkeys and all that rubbish. They're crap. Get one of these. So that's that. So moving on. I'm going to pause the video just 10 seconds because I'm going to go and get a load of tools out and I can show you what I'm talking about. Right, I'm back. Always sitting comfortably. I've just been and fetched an array of toolage that not so much, some of them are basic, some of them are essential. But if we go with the basic tools you are going to need, let's just section them out here, because I've got an absolute table full of gear in front of me right now. Things you are going to need, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. There you go. Right, these are tools you are definitely going to need. We'll start off with a string winder. String winder might seem, oh, string winder boring, don't you know why I do it by hand. This will save you a lot of time. Just works like so. Da 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 da. This is a good one. It's got a you know, your acoustic string pins. Get under there, pop them out, take strings off. It's got one of them on there. It's also got a bit you can pull off, and you can stick that in your drill. You get it on your drill, zzz, zzz, and that's it. Or a handheld screwdriver, one of them things. It's going to save you a lot of time. Doing this 45 times per tuner, you're going to get bored with it. You need one of them. Fret rocker. It's got 4 lengths, 1, 2, 3, 4, and this means you always test 3 frets at a time. And if it's rocking, if you set your neck level straight, I'll get to that in a minute. Once your neck is level and straight, do 3 frets at a time, so you can do 3 there. And if you get a rock, the middle one is high. You need to alter that, you need to shave it down. When you go across and you get closer up, there you go there. And when you get to the top end of the guitar, you go there. That's how you do it. To get your neck level and straight, you will need a notched straight edge. This is a completely level straight edge with notches in it to go over your frets. This will check your fingerboard to see if it's straight, if it's got a curve, or if it's got a bow. You know, you alter the truss rod to get it straight. And your first one you should buy will be this one, because you always get 2 sizes per size. You've got Fender size there, which is 25.5 inch. You've got Gibson size there, which is 24 3/4. That will be your first one. When I bought mine, these were 30 quid a piece. I've got 8 different sizes of these now. You can pick them up 15 quid now. Yeah, go and look at, just go and look on eBay, they're up there. So you need one of these. So that's your basic string winder, fret level checker, neck, not straight edge. Baroque, it's got all different gauges and sizes. This is for measuring your nut height or your string height above your 12th fret or whatever. Absolutely wonderful these are. They're about 5 quid. You cannot get by without one of these. You do need one. It's got you've got millimeters there, or you've got inches there for your that's non-metric imperial. This is metric. It does all sorts of things. Different rulers on there for measuring different things. You will not get by or set up a guitar without one of these. Probably you can do it by eye, but listen, let me tell you something. Even your eyes aren't right sometimes. You need that. Definitely need one of them. A feeler gauge. I have a metric feeler gauge and a non-metric, but I only ever really use a metric. This measures any size between 1/4mm and 0.1 of a millimetre. These are for measuring. Say for instance you want to measure the gap between the top of the fret and bottom of your strings. Invaluable, 0.25, 0.3 and 0.4. This will help you measure the height above your first fret to the bottom of your string on your first fret. Because say for instance I will go round about 0.2.5, 0.3 on the high E, up to 0.4, 0.5 on the low E. You're not getting by without that. You can do it by eye, but then again you need to do it like that. Nut slots. Cutting nut slots. There's no way you're going to get around cutting nut slots without a set of these, and I'm not saying you should buy these right now. These are Hosco nut slot cutters. There are 2 cuts on each blade on these, and this ranges from 10 to 46. If you want to go thicker than 46, you're going to have to angle the cut slightly, but there are 2 cuts on there, and they cut a perfect round in a nut, whether it be bone or whatever. These cost me 75 quid, worth every penny. I use these a lot. But if you're not able to afford that straight away, so what you can go with is like a welder's tool. This little gubbins in a welder's tool. Basically what it is a load of little thin files. They're all round, and they've got a serrated edge at the back end, and you can use these to, at least if not cut slots on your nut, you can use these to round them off. These are about 3 quid on eBay. I don't know what you'd search on eBay there, just put welder's file or something like, not welders, yeah, welder's file, round file. So that's that. A guitar tuner. always going to need a guitar tuner. I bought this years ago. The reason I bought this is you can calibrate it. 440 Hz is the standard, but I used to tune down to 432 Hz. A lot of the recalibrated ones only go down to about 435 and up to 445. I wanted more than that, so this goes down to, it goes mental down, it goes down lots, about 30 up or down, so down to 410, up to 470 or whatever. So you can calibrate this down, for instance. I'm going to do it now. I've just pressed it there. Now I'm down to 432 Hz, look, just by pressing the calibrate button there. So you can do alternate tunings, different wavelengths. Like some people say 432 Hz is the divine frequency. I used to think that, but I'm not convinced on that anymore. I'll tune everything to 440 again now. But a good guitar tuner. It's got a built-in mic, or you can plug it in. Great little thing. You always need that around. Radius gauges. There you go. Set of radius gauges. These are all different. And basically, what this is for is you'll put this on your neck. I'll show you an example right now. This will be 9.5 because it's a Fender type. 9.5 radius gauge. You put it on there and you just check the gauge of the fingerboard. Blah 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 blah. It's actually flatter than a 9.5, so it could be a 10. But there you go. That's for that. For doing not just that, it's also for setting on your bridge of your guitar. You'll then put this underneath your strings, and your strings will sit on top. And to get that radius to match your fingerboard, you know, your strings sat on top of there. So that'll be 9.5 inch, that'll be 9.5. These range from, these are about 30, I think they're about 10, 12 quid. These go from 7.25 up to 20, all different radius gauges. You can also, that's your cheapest way of doing it. You could also go and get a set of these. These again are over string ones. You get 2 sets per set. That's a wide one. That'll be for your body end, and you get a narrow one. That'll be for the nut end. And you get 2 of each. You get wide, narrow, 8 different sizes. These are again not too expensive, but great for checking the radius of your fingerboard with your strings on. You see what you got, narrow there and wide there. You see the difference. These aren't essentials. If you get just these to get you started, that's fine. Back to simple basic tools. You'll always want some spanners, some good little spanners. Good little spanner set, cheap as chips. I've got 10 and 11 there. These are basically for tuner. You know your tuners, and they've got a nut holding in the barrel. Normally 10 or 11 millimeters. So I've always got these under close by, 10 or 11, just for tightening up the tuners. Where the tuners actually sit in the headstock of the guitar. I can't remember, I forgot for life what the name is. Some cutters, I use some nail cutters now and again for cutting wire and stuff, but failing that, nail clippers will do sometimes, but get yourself a good set of cutters. And I don't mean use the cutters on pliers, because these are too heavy duty and these cutters are rubbish. I mean, get yourself a set of dedicated cutters like so. These are Hilker brand. I only buy Hilker or Nielsen tools. They're not Mac tools, and they're not snap-on tools, but they sit in between those and the cheap crap. Don't buy the cheap rubbish like Tool Zone and that at Hanford or whatever. Hilker are more or less guaranteed for life, as are Nielsen. Brings me on to the next bit. I always buy Hilker tools. Something else you may need, but not essential, is a set of needle files. I've got a set here, just regular files, needle files. These are, again, Hilker brand. I buy Hilker. I've had these for donkey's years and they're still working fine. Don't use them a lot, but they're good to have. You can clear out nut slots or whatever with these, many other things, many other uses. So I would get some of them. Screwdrivers. Again, decent hardened screwdrivers. I've got small ones I use. I've got flathead. I've got a cross. They're small ones, a good Phillips type crosshead. I should get Phillips and I should get crossheads, because they are different posi drives and crossheads, because they are slightly different. But this one I use for most of my stuff. It's a brilliant one. Don't go buy the cheap rubbish, £3 for £1 from Pound Shop. Absolute crap. You'll crack it on screw in there one day and the handle will turn, but the barrel won't be. Get good stuff. Get a Wicks. This is £2 from Wicks. Brilliant. It's magnetised, so you can pick up screws and that. £2 a piece. Don't worry about spending £2-3 per screwdriver, because you're going to need them. get good stuff. And finally, I mean, not finally, I've got these T-bar Allen keys, and I've got two sizes, 4mm and 5mm. And look at these, they're brilliant. The chrome vanadium steel, they're long, and these are for truss rod adjusters. Rather than going and have to do this, which is a pain, and take it out and push it back in and turn it again, get one where you can just go in at the end at an angle. You go in at the end and you can just turn it all the way. I've got a 4mm and a 5mm. I could do other sizes, but these will get me by. In most cases they do get me by. And one more thing I've got as an essential piece of kit. And again, don't buy rubbish. Allen keys. Get yourself a good set of Allen keys. These are £8 from B&Q. McAllister. They're hardened steel. They're not going to chew up. Like, you know when you get a Floyd Rose and you get some Allen keys and after a bit they start chewing up? These won't. And these don't. These are absolutely solid. You get a good set in there. You won't use them all, but we've got all the sizes. Look, we've got metric and imperial, so you can use your Japanese guitars, your American guitars, whatever, and guitars from anywhere. I cannot emphasise enough how important it is to get good Allen keys. Don't get the little crap that you stick in a Floyd Rose, you undo it and it just chews all the oil, or it chews all the, or you go to the end of your tremolo, you're trying to remove a saddle, it'll just chew up the Allen key. It happens all the time with cheap Allen keys. Good hardened steel Allen keys, very, very important to get that. So I think that's covered the basics. There are other things you're going to want somewhere down the line. This is my fretting file, by the way, for crowning. It's got 3 edges. This is from Crimson Guitars, and these edges are grand. I've been using this for years, and it's still my main. I still use this for crowning frets, rather than use one with the grooves cut in, which is easier. I just actually prefer to do it by hand, because once you've got the feel, you get to feel how frets need to be. You can feel every little nuance in there, every little waver, everything that's wrong. If you've got skills as a craftsman like I have, praise the Lord, get something and use something like this if you're going to be doing frets and stuff. This one is my most common one. 3mm one side, 2.5mm the other, just for going over the tops of frets. This is from Tone Tech in the UK. This was like £18. You cannot go wrong. Go and buy this from StewMac, it'll be £75 on its own. I've also got a diamond file version of these. Also a good flat file. This is my number 3 Swiss made flat file. This is just for taking the top off frets. If I've got a high fret, I'll just go over with this. Very, very sharp. It's also got one smooth edge there. Again, these you can pick these up for about £7-8. Amazon or eBay if you look around. If you want a really, really good one, like a number 4 cut, if you can even find a number 6 cut, get maybe about £25, but worth it. In all the years I've been looking, I've never been able to find a number 6 cut file for less than £50. But you can get a number 4 for about £22, which I'm getting next, a Swiss one. So that's it. Decent files. I also got this. This is a StewMac. I bought this used second hand. I don't use it much. It's okay, but these are going blunt now. You don't really need that. So I think I've explained the tools, or the essential tools you need for setting up a guitar. If there's anything I've missed, then I've missed it. Oh, lemon oil. I buy this, but there's a new brand come out where you can get this is 4 ounce, and it's about £7, and it's great because it's a spray. And I just top this up with regular lemon oil when I buy some cheap lemon oil. But I've just bought a pack of lemon oil. Can't remember what brand it is. I'll let you know that later. For £11 for 16 ounces. That's 4 bottles of this. And I'll just top this bottle up with it and keep using the spray. It's not actually lemon oil. It's actually mineral oil formulated specifically, and especially for wood, mainly being rosewood and ebony. So people say, we can't put lemon oil on your guitar, lemon oil destroys it. Yeah, lemon oil does, but this is just basically mineral oil with a hint of lemon in it, just for the smell, to make it smell nice. So good stuff, you're going to need some of that. And that really is about it. Oh, one more thing. Truss rod nut adjusters. I've got 4 there, all different ones, all different sizes. Gibson, Edwards, whatever. Absolutely brilliant, just for getting in certain types of guitars, like Gibsons for instance. You can have a barrel on there and you need to slide that over into a truss rod hole, and you can just turn it that way rather than use an Allen key, because some of them don't have the Allen key adjusters. So buy them as and when you need them. I've got 4 here, 2 of them is one size and 2 are different size. I've got 2 the same, should I say, because my Edwards one and my Gibson one are the same ones, and there's 2 other sizes, and maybe you'll need them for different guitars like PRS. So that's it. I think I've really covered everything This video's probably gone on for a lot longer than I expected it to. I think we're up to 30 minutes, are we, or 15 minutes, I don't know. It might have cycled round, but that's it. That's the whole video. I'm going to wrap it up. That should explain all the tools you need. Oh, just one more thing before we go. I'm absolutely chock-a-block in here. I'm not taking any work on for the next 2 weeks. But you can still check me out on facebook.com/NGONESEVEN. That's facebook.com NG17. I'm Victor Christian from Christian Guitars. I'm your fret friend, and that's me signing off. Until I see you next time, be good to each other, and I'll talk to you soon.